Emergency Services Net. Standing by. Okay, well, we'll run right back up to the top of the list and go for round 2 here. N0RTY.
Yeah, N0RTY again. Yeah, I really recommend that Dave buy into power poles, because if you get a crimper and some ends and terminals, as well as some splitters, then it'll really improve the integrity and ease of use of your power distribution system. So, I really enjoy it, and Kurt really enjoys them, and I'm guessing that others do too, like Jerry. So, yeah, I really recommend power poles for your power distribution needs. Other than that, one of these days I'll have to get around to digging up my damaged feed line conduit from my vertical so I can fix that. Last few weekends have been quite busy, so hopefully my weekends get quieter and the weather stays good. Because I really didn't want to work outside when it was 95 degrees either, because that would be miserable. So hopefully I can get a chance to do that before the fall. And maybe if I get ambitious, I might hang up my HF dipole as well, but I need to make more plans for that. Although I did see in the garage the other day where my spare 10-foot section of mast is, so if I want to raise up my VHF antenna another 10 feet, I think I have a plan of how I can do that, because years ago when I first put that up, I tried to put it up 30 feet by pushing the mast up from below, but it was too flexible for that, so I had to take 10 feet off. But now I think if I stand on the roof and pull the guy ropes up, then it would work fine. But that's a project for another week, so hopefully I can get to that this season. So, because I really would like to be able to get back on HF again. Right now I don't have any working HF antennas, so I'm kind of down for anything but VHF, UHF at the moment. So anyway, nice to hear everyone, especially Len. So this is N0RTY 73, back to that.
Okay, very good, Dave. Yeah, HF is very important. Got to get back on there. And I almost forgot here. I've got a couple of announcements to make here, so might as well get at that. First of all, the potluck picnic is Thursday, September 13th at 5 o'clock here at this location. So hopefully everybody can make plans to bring a steak to grill or whatever type of meat you like to grill, and a dish or dessert or salad to share, and hopefully see everybody here on the 13th. We are also going to move forward with plans to participate in this year's Jamboree on the Air for the Scouts. I've been in contact with Noel in WB0VGI, who is going to help out. He's been working with the Scouts. In fact, when I talked to him the last time on the air, he was at a Scout camp, and he's going to help out with getting things set up for our participation in Jamboree on the Air, and that's on the third weekend in October. So anybody that can spare some time and want to help out with that, sure would like to hear from you. So send me a note, info@morehamradio.com, and we'll get you lined up with Noel and see how we want to work things. And then it's not too early to start thinking about the Christmas party. If you plan on coming to that, that'll be at Freddy's. We're not going to have the Elvis show this year. That's a week earlier, so we won't be in on that. So it'll be back to being the way it was 2 years ago. So I haven't talked to Mark about the details yet, but we'll see what we can work out, and more details will be forthcoming. Okay, moving right along here, WB0FB, Jerry.
WB0FB here. As I sit at my desk, I now have a new partner warming the top of my desk. Our little black cat came down here and decided that my desk was a good place to curl up and take a nap on. So he's sitting here just napping away. And I happen to be looking at him, and I'm going, gee, why are your ears so red? And I get to looking at him, and he's got the back of his ears are actually sunburned, or something like that, because they're awful red, very thin on the hair there. So, other than that, I did find that the company that does the towers, you remember we were talking about your tower. I found the company that does it. It looks like the equivalent of your tower is now somewhere around $6,000 to $7,000. So no small change there. But they're still available. I don't know what kind of shipping they charge or whatever, but I imagine it'll be a good-sized chunk. KJ9W and WB0FB.
Well, I'll have to dig out the receipts. I think I've got them on file someplace, but see, you know, that's 22 years removed from when I got that tower, and the tower that I bought at that time, which is a 55-footer, was $3,600. That's not counting shipping or any of that other stuff. So, yeah, I guess to see how much they've increased since that time is rather significant, damn near double, I guess. But yeah, wow. I could have gone. There were two other levels. There was a 64 and a 72 that I could have got, but I figured 55 was enough. And I guess I don't really have any regrets about that. This one's worked just fine. So anyway, you'll have to let me know if you get one, and I'll dig around in there, see if I can find the receipts and pass along the figures as they were 22 years ago. Okay, thanks, Jerry. K0MJS, in case you're taking a break from supper or you've actually finished. Okay, nothing heard from K0MJS. He must be enjoying his supper quite well. So we'll go on to Len, KD0BUS. Then again, maybe we won't. He had his one hand on a wrench, so maybe he's using that on something. Anyway, K0AJF, Mary.
So we're chasing the does and the fawns out into the highway, and I think that's typically because deer flies and mosquitoes. We sure got them thick here yet, so I don't think that season is over, and it's over for you though. You've been blessed. KD0BUS, action control.
Okay, Len, I'm sorry. I covered you up during the probably first half of your transmission there. You want to repeat what you said at the beginning?
KD0BUS. Yeah, most of it was just babble about deer flies and chasing the deer out onto the highway. You are blessed, truly, if they've moved on to other parts, but you're certainly welcome to have them back. They're still plentiful. Back to net control.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I presumed that you had a wrench in one hand and yet you were busy with it. Hi. Okay, thanks, Len, for the repeat of your transmission there. Have a good evening. And thanks for checking in. Good to hear you on. Now we'll go on to Mary, KA0AJF.
KD0CI here. Taking a break from doing the dishes. Anyway, I think he said he had enough, he had plenty of those deer flies. Well, I guess all I could say was make sure you keep them over there. We don't want them over here. You can keep them or chase them off the other direction or something. Let's see. Other than that, nothing really. Just everybody have a great evening, and Ken, we'll send it back over to you. So we'll everybody check in next week with whoever. So KJ9W, KA0AJF. Back to you, Ken.
Okay, well, N0RJW will be the net control next week, so he'll be the guy to check in with. All right, thanks, Mary, and we'll move on to Dave, KA0EVQ.
KA0EVQ here. Yeah, I noticed that the temperature has been going down regularly over the evening, and it feels a lot better. That's just fine. I hate that warm weather. The mosquitoes have been terrible yet. Still deer flies around here, although not quite as many, but when it was hot here like yesterday, and I was out in the evening, they were all over the place. Although I don't have as many stuck to my helmet as like last year, which I scraped it a couple of times. I haven't even scraped it once, but they're on there, but not as many. So they're on their way down now because it's the end of their season. There's always some around though. There'll be some there. In the first part of September, there might be one will come buzzing around. But, anyways, and as far as, I have a bunch of power poles too, and although there was something about them that I didn't really like for some reason, but the binding posts happen to be on the end of a 400 watt inverter, which I have to, in case I want to run, if the power's out and I want to run the television. So I tried to pile everything up on that, and of course the binding posts are only so big, and that little plastic cap is hard to manipulate. And I put it together kind of fast, and then I just left it, as what usually happens. But I've been meaning to build a regular distribution system that's more spread out, where the wires aren't all packed together, and that probably should happen. I keep thinking about it, but keep getting along with tightening up the wires. So, but anyways, yeah, it's good to see it cooling off. I just like to see the summer kind of end. Not with frost, but they even got some ripe pumpkins. Yeah, there's some yellow ones already. They've really been moving along, so I don't know what's going to happen to them, but it's so early. 7-3 is KA0EVQ, back to Nat.
Yeah, I noticed the mosquitoes were kind of bad here lately. They're still not too bad up in the main part of the yard, but boy, you get close to the woods or something, and man, they're terrible. Yeah, I don't like them either. So yeah, I've been kind of staying away from the heavily wooded areas, at least unless I'm on the tractor. If I'm on a tractor or something that's making noise and stuff like that, they don't seem to bother me too much. But if I'm out there by myself without anything, man, oof, they're bad. Okay, this is KJ9W in the Eastern Minnesota Emergency Services Net. We'll continue with KB0RFY. Dave. Well, I guess we won't continue with Dave. He's checked out. KD0BUO, Gene.
KD0BUO. Not too much else. I talked to Brian about the on the air last week and just waiting for more information, and maybe this week or next week I'll put it out to the troop. There weren't that many there, and it was kind of a super busy evening. It was popcorn night and moving back into the building again, so didn't really want to take a whole lot of time for anything else except those two projects. So back to net, KD0BUO 732.
Yeah, when there's popcorn around, it's hard to get anybody interested in anything else. Take me for instance. Oh golly, yeah, I can get into that all right. Yeah, I should make another batch here. We haven't had some fresh popcorn here now in about a week or so, maybe a little longer than that. Okay, well, we're at the bottom of the list, so anybody else, any late check-ins or whatever here for the net? This is KJ9W standing by.
RJW, Dave and Mike, Minnesota.
Well, there's next week's net control already here this week. Good evening, Dave. N0RJW, KJ9W. How are you doing?
That's fair. A little on the hot side. The air conditioner's been working overtime, and so's the dehumidifier in the basement. Got to keep everything from getting too wet and moist. Well, yeah, it's a... I finally ran into some Tanglefoot. I got some generic Tanglefoot over there in a little can with a wick on it, so that, or a little brush on it. We've been running into ants and stuff running up our little J-hooks to get into the hummingbird feeders. So I put about 4 inches of that stuff on both of the bottoms, and you know, they really don't like it. So now we don't have to worry about ants in our hummingbird feeders. So now I'll find me a hat and get one put together for up north, and not much problem with the other stuff down here. So I'll send it back to net control. Thanks a lot, Kenny, for running a great net. N0RJW 73.
No, that's a darn good idea. I never thought of that. Not that I have a lot of problem with ants going up into the bird feeders, but we do have them occasionally in that area. But interesting. Yeah, I suppose there's no escape for them either, is there? Yes. Yeah, y'all takes an idea and see how it grows, huh? Well, very good, Dave. Thank you very much for checking in this evening. Good to hear you. Anybody else wishing to check in?
Recheck.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is KD0BUS. Wondering if Dave can tell me again what he's done for the ants and the hummingbird feeder. That's a problem here.
Dave, N0RJW, do you want to tell him or do you want me to tell him?
I could barely make him out. Could you give me what he was saying?
He wants to know what you're using on the J-hooks for your anti-ant remedy there.
The best thing to have is a little moat. A lot of the hummingbird feeders have a little disc on top that you fill with water, and they can't swim it. But we picked up some from Walmart that were real cheap, and they didn't have anything on top, so the ants would just crawl up the J-hook and go right down in. Well, I thought, you know what? And I tried a little grease, I tried a little other stuff, and it didn't really work, Crisco. But I thought, you know what? I'll bet you Kenny had the right idea with that stuff. So I got some of that imitation Tanglefoot, the cheaper stuff, and I took the brush on it and just brushed about 3 or 4 inches on the very bottom not on the very bottom, but about a foot up, and on the J-hook, and I watched ants come up, and they got within about an inch of that, and they said, that's enough of that, and they didn't want nothing to do with it, so now we can put, as long as you can get it so that they can't get around it to get up to the hummingbird feeders, works great.
KD0CI, copy all.
See how easy it is? All you got to do is check into the Eastern Minnesota Emergency Services Net and you'll find remedies for just about anything. Yeah, this Tanglefoot idea has really grown in the last few years. Okay, anybody else for the net this evening? KJ9W standing by. Okay, well, we'll thank everybody for checking in then. Had a great net again, as usual. We had, 3, 6, 9, 10 check-ins this evening. Always good to hear everybody on. And your net control next week will be N0RJW, so be sure to check in with Dave. And no doubt that'll be an exciting net as usual. So with that, this is KJ9W, and we'll close this session of the net at 004, well, we'll call it 0043 UTC, and turn the repeater back to regular amateur use. Everybody have a good evening and a good week. KJ9W is clear, and well, I don't know, QRT probably isn't the right word, because we do have the radio on all the time, but I'm going to relax for a while.